Earner. 6 minutes. So Casanova 2 times. Brooklyn, the feds. What's going on with him? Look, a lot of people were saying, like, I seen a lot of bloggers, vloggers, people on the tube making videos saying, oh, now he's crying, now he's screaming like, I want bail. Like, what are he supposed to do? Like, first of all, what would you do if you was to get locked up? You too be all over the judge like, I love you, judge. I'm gonna be a model citizen after this. It's just what we do when we get locked up. People are like, oh, now he's trying to be a good boy. You can't throw that on him because when you was locked up, you was doing the same thing. The difference is that probably most of these dudes that I'm saying all this, when you was getting locked up, there wasn't all these online things going on, or you didn't know about it, right? Because this is all new to a lot of people. With no disrespect, but check this out. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, although you may not care. I see it like he was supposed to do that. What I do really stands out to me real hard about this whole case is that I think we have to take a deeper look into what's going on here. We seem to forget that time and time again is being said that the federalos took parts of what he was saying on Vlad or wherever, right? Because I also am one of those guys that don't blame Vlad for the whole situation, you know? So with that being said, I look at it like we have to be aware, because if they can take what he said in an interview, his story, his Rikers Island story, right? And use that against him when it probably was years ago. I don't really recall if they talking about like a recent incident, but for what it sounds like to me, and leave in the comments, I could be wrong. I'm wrong too. Hey, we're not always right because we do this. But if that is true, they can use our Rikers Island stories again. I've been telling Rikers Island stories for years. Again, for those of you that don't know too much about me, not showing off. I don't show off. I'm showing up. Because a lot of people been taking credit for those Rikers Island storytelling things, right? And I'm the one that started that whole wave. We're not saying I'm the first one that told my Rikers Island story, but facts. Read the comments, ask around, everybody says it. I just started recently saying it because I was always being too humble about it, right? So what I'm saying is that we took it and we made it a podcast where every day we was talking about Rikers Island. Where I have the Rikers Island Story podcast show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, On the Lockout, Rikers Island Stories, Facts. And the top of my channel since day one, I said On the Lockout, Rikers Island, and Upstate Stories. Because I stopped using that on the top, and on the name, I changed the name because I didn't want to have the jail name on my YouTube channel and they sue you. Facts. So with that being said, I'm just saying that because a lot of people, people like to take credit for a wave you started, and it's all good. But I'm just trying to let you know a little bit about myself in case you think on my other channel, On the Lockout, I'm some crazy lunatic telling these stories. And that's not the way it works. I actually started that to do something for the peoples, to find a way to come home and do something for yourself, open a lane, right? And I did that. And a lot of guys thank me, because of Warpath, I started doing this. When I seen what he was doing, he inspired me, because I always inspire all our peoples to open up their own channel and do what they have to do, right? But when I see dudes like Casanova tell their story and it's creating them more harm than good, then I'm like, wow. That's crazy, my dude. That means they could do that to any of us. So now do we have to walk around on eggshells and be careful you should always be careful what you say, but it has to be a story from recently. And again, leave in the comments, man. Because I'm just talking because I got a set of lips, you heard? But with that being said, they saying that they put surveillance audio or cameras in the jail where Dick Wolf was at, right? In Auburn, if I'm not mistaken. And it goes to show you to the lengths that they will go if they really want you. You see, it goes like this, and it's always been like this. When the feds or police or anybody sees an ex-gang member or gang member that what they consider a gang, but to you may be your nation, your family, because you love it cold-heartedly, and you're trying to prove how positive you guys can be. For some apparent reason, I always feel like there's this other Fed dude somewhere that's saying, I'm going to show the world that you're lying. I'm going to show the world that you guys are no good. Like, it's like a competition. I'm going to show the world why you should be arrested. And they find one little thing and blow it up so out of proportion that originally, if you would have got locked up by regular police for that and went to like a regular Brooklyn judge, you would have got ROR'd. Facts, if the charge was explained different. Because when you read the evidence that's presented on most of these cases, like, bro, this is bullshit. No type of evidence but a conviction rate out this world. Like, the cases be weak, you know? And it's sad how they could just put a conspiracy or gang racketeering charge on you just through your affiliation of you still saying you involved with that gang and proving pictures that you still around that gang or what they consider a gang. It almost makes people feel as if you was a gang member, like you can't do nothing good. Like they almost want you to be that for the rest of your life. Like when you find a lane, they let you know that we could break this lane at any time. You know, and I think that that's a big problem. All our leaders, black leaders, Latino leaders, any leader that has been ghetto street and is trying to change his life to do something positive, they always find a hole within it to say, look, no, that's not what they doing, bro. And they blame him for what everybody else is doing because he's the top dog. And one little conversation that sounds like you was even okay with what they was doing will take you all the way down. And now you don't only have beef with the feds, you got beef with your gang because you made them pay attention. You made them look this way. People don't talk about that. Now you're getting hit by your gang. Like, yo, bro, you had us thinking you was doing good. You was telling us to do good and you was doing grimy shit. Gang hit you up for that. Facts. Ask anybody who's really an OG who's really been gang banging. The ones that are trying to do positive and they thought you were super positive, Pete, they look at it like you betrayed them. Facts. Like you sold them a dream. Meanwhile, you was doing grimy things. I don't think that Casanova had his hand full in that blood movement like that, like extending to other states and all that. I believe that he's well known, that they know of him. Sometimes listen, bro, the worst thing to do is still be super famous and want to be full head in on gang. Like you could be active, man. It's a difference between being active and being involved in every activity. It's a difference between being real and being real dumb. Like sometimes we got so much, we want to be so gangster, and that's all we knew all our life in Brooklyn. And I'm at fault for that too, right? That when we receive a lot of money to keep it real, because our people in the street have instilled in us so much, right? The street values, and if you don't come back for us, you a piece of shit. You no good. You can't leave all these dudes behind. You got to come back and drop some of that bag off or take some of us with you. And along come the indictments because these dudes are still living that life. These dudes did crime that you don't know about last month. They not telling you everything. And then you get caught up in that because you're putting your bag. Even if you out your heart are giving somebody $1,000 every few months, they gonna put it and make it seem as if you're contributing, right? Like funding their acts of violence through your money. So remove Casanova and things will calm down, they feel, because he's the one with the bag. Now, do I believe and know that there's some rappers that get a few $100,000, even $2 million, and go back and re-up and hustle and think that, yo, I'm going to blow this up more because $2 million go real quick? A lot of times with $1 million, people be like, I'm a millionaire. My dude, you spent $1, you no longer a millionaire. That's a wrap. And if you just got $1 million after taxes, you're not a millionaire, bro. You was a millionaire for a second, if that. Money goes real quick. But we got to take more caution. We got to move more cautionally. And time again, I could show you hundreds of videos that I made that I always say my people in Brooklyn got indicted through Instagram. Thank God I had stopped messing with them, even talking to them like that. Facts. You know, because who would want to be indicted on a Fed charge for something you didn't do? That's crazy. True story that my dude Otto was telling me. This is facts, bro. You know, it has nothing to do with Casanova, but it has a lot to do with the situation if you pay attention, right? So oftentimes we don't pay attention. The dude says something we don't like. He's acting a certain way we don't like. He's a certain skin tone we don't like. He might be from a nationality we don't like. And we switch off, right? And it's cool. But in order for you to understand what I'm always saying in 90% of my videos, you must watch to the end. You can't come in a few minutes and say, I'm not feeling what he's saying, and comment, because I had people go right back and say, I'm sorry. I had to retract my comment. I apologize. This shit is deep. It just happened a few minutes ago. Fact, shout out to them. I respect that. But what happened to my guy was this. We in Brooklyn, Sunset Park, 58th Street, between 4th and 3rd. You already know. The block. Right? Dango! What up? Jerry! Ruben! What's up, everybody, right? Beretta! Oh, snap. Huh? Sanjana! So with that being said, check this out, right? Shout out to all the peoples, man. I love y'all, boy. So we over there. Summertime, it's lit. Dudes are like, yo, War, be careful over there. The block was popping like Knickerbocker back in the days. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, bro. Right? Shout out Freddie Flowers, man. And my condolences go out to the families of anything that happened. I had nothing to do with that. I just know Freddie as a good dude around me. You know, because other people's feelings get in play that people might have did something to. You know, God bless my guy. He blew trial to, I think, 60 years, I heard. Good dude, super thorough. Freddie Flowers, you already know. So with that being said, my guy starts talking to a dude that we all grew up around. But in the midst of all this, people are under investigation, but he don't know, because who knows you under investigation, right? So they snatch him up, boom. Then the one time that he tells me the story and says, you know, this is done and over. They did the time. Some of them already sentenced. They should be on their way home. And I pray for them because they good dudes. I know them since I was kids. So shout out to all of them. Timmy and the whole gang. Facts. So with that being said, he says that he goes to meet them somewhere. The first day he ever links up with them to be in a spot, in an apartment, boom, they kick the door down. Guess who gets caught up with them? After probably just coming home himself, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it was his first time in the feds. Good dude. He's an accountant in Manhattan, Wall Street. Smart kid. He gets caught up. Boom! Now he has a Fed bid. He's home now, by the grace of God, right? But he still had to do about, if I'm not mistaken, 5 years, or it wasn't months. It was, well, again, the Feds work with months, but you know what I mean. Or for one day of meeting up with somebody, it's not like he was been getting money with them, but how they tangle it all together is what I'm saying. And what they used, the Instagram DMs, the texts. I went one day to get a phone. And the girl I was dealing with the phone, you know, Boost Mobile, you know how we do in Brooklyn, baby. If it's not Boost, it ain't right. You're a Metro piece of shit. You already know. So, the girl's like, oh, you from Sunset Park? I was just reading the news. That's how I found out about it. And I was like, wow, God bless me, bro. I stopped hanging out there. Seems like right on time. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't really doing nothing there, you heard? But they tie you right up in there and you be done. And just like that, you become part of a case that you in the news as you was a kingpin, you was making so much money because they go off for hearsay. Or what somebody says that they saw, I seen dudes get indicted for that. Shout out to Tempo, even in PR. They say he had 90 something kilos of heroin, and a dude said he saw those 90 something kilos. And he got sentenced to like 25. Like he's home now. He's the Puerto Rican Tupac to us in PR. Facts. Whoever says different, you wrong. We supposed to respect that man. He bring gangster hip hop to PR, the first one. Or the one that blew it up. But anyway, that's another channel, right? It just gets me tight, these dudes. But anyway, yeah. My whole thing is Casanova, when he's asking for the money and the bail, I think that is well deserved. I think he should be given another opportunity. Oftentimes when the cops pull us over and they be like, yo, you ever been arrested for a crime? No, you ever been arrested for a crime? No, you step over here. They go hard on the one that's been arrested before. It's almost as if they never want you in the street. When in reality, you're dumb, officer. You're stupid. The dude that got the ratchet, and I'm not telling on nobody, I'm just saying in general, it's the dude that's never been arrested. 90% of the time, the dude that somebody that's gang is gonna have hitting everything up in the world, and all the bodies under his belt is the one that's never been arrested. The dudes that have been arrested before, we ain't trying to do nothing stupid. It's rare. But they'll be like, oh, you never been arrested? Go ahead. I don't know if they get a bigger promotion for grabbing the dude who's been arrested before, because that's what they do, and they should be a law against that, because that's showing prejudice. You feel me? That's being judgmental. Like, if you've been locked up for, so it had to be you. You've been locked up for robbery before, and they looking for a dude. Yeah, step over here. It fits your jacket, you done, and they'll put it on you. Boop. Because it looks right in court. It matches. It's a robbery. You did robberies before, you're done. Meanwhile, the dude has never been locked up. I always said this. If I was ever to open up a major, massive company or a hip-hop company, Golden Culture, Enterprises, boom, the whole shebang, right? Real Lions, but you know what I mean, right? Dreams come true. Dream big, man. Facts. Believe that. I know. So with that being said, I always said to myself, I will hire 90% of dudes that have been arrested before. Sometimes it's not even good to say that, because I'm the one they'll come after, because I'm the one that's trying to help dudes like me and you. They don't want to see us progress. They don't want to see us elevate. They don't want us to be their bosses, right? They love us better when we take in losses. But I always said, because in a job placement, I worked around dudes that have felonies. And nothing to glorify or brag about. I have over 6 felonies right now. I got about 7 or 7.5. One is about to happen this week. Now when they play, about 7 felonies. If I'm not, who cares when the people be like, oh, but these much is paper felonies. When you go in front of that judge, he don't be like, yo, these are paper felonies. These are state felonies. A felony's a felony to the judge, and you're done. I think it's what you call discretional predicate, when you have a massive amount of felonies, but they don't slay you super hard because they not all of the same MO. If I'm wrong, leave it in the comments, but I think I'm 99.8% right, if I recall it real well, right? So my whole thing is, I always wanted to hire dudes like that, like with felonies, because I know that he's the less to commit crime. When I was working a lot, I drove trucks, I drove school buses. So, you know, this is crazy. I was driving around kids, young kids, in a yellow school bus with all my felonies. Facts. Oh, I worked for a lot of school bus companies where I work. There's a lot of things I don't tell you guys about me. I had got my CDL, and in the process, when I was home on and off, I would work driving school buses. Then I started driving trucks. You feel me? It's so crazy, because at one point I was going to court to get my son. And the judge was, you know, they was trying to explain to the judge how I was an unfit father, whatever. I was fucking super thug or whatever, right? Like, they paint the ugly picture about you, which was my blood brother actually doing all this to do. That's why I love him so much. I can't wait to see you. So anyway, with that being said, I was like, how am I capable of taking care of 40 kids that are not mine in a bus? But you telling me I'm not capable of taking care of my own. I don't understand that. Huh? People get quiet real quick. Like, oh, you're the father? Could you believe that this judge said, I'm sorry. I didn't know you was the father. All along, I thought that I gave the kid to his biological father, which he was meaning it was my brother. I said, do you see how ugly my brother is? Like, are you kidding me? That's not his father. But that's exactly how it went, I swear to God. That's how people be confused. But it shows you that don't matter because you got felonies, that don't mean you a bad dude, bro. You know, and I think that people that work with a lot of felonies in places, they tend to not mess up their job for themselves. And I think a person that's never been locked up will take the chance quicker. Because what you going to give them probation? They know that already. It's spread it. Son, you'll only get probation, bro. Break your skull. You know, like, God forbid, don't go do that. I'm just saying, right? But that's just the way it works. And me or somebody else will be put away for life. You feel me? I don't know, bro. But Casanova, do I think that he was involved cold-heartedly? And we all know that, you know, he was doing rap songs. He could say his entertainment. That's why it goes to show you, man. Leave that gang life alone. That's all I really meant to say, man. I came on real quick. This for like my real supporters, the people that really follow me and believe in us and on the Lockout, Golden Culture, Tech for Rec, and anything that we do on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and all that, right? We accomplished a lot on our own, but most importantly, I accomplished it with you guys, and I'm forever grateful. I swear to God. So, Casanova, I believe that, yeah, that, you know, I think that he should have put that away, but it's hard, man. It's hard. Because when you involved in a nation or in a gang that's so active in the street like that, you can't just stop being that. If there's real OGs that know where you're located, who told you you could just stop being blah, homie? Or who told you you could just stop being whatever you was involved in? That doesn't work like that, bro. To the point where if it's really organized wherever people are at, and this is public information with every gang, they'll step to you like, bro, who said you didn't have to report this week, my dude? Or dudes will see you, and when you throw it up, they'll be like, what said you claim? Or you active? Or you active? I ain't see you in none of the you heard? Like, you bugging. You better show up this Saturday at 6 or we coming. And that's facts. And a lot of times, especially if you a rapper, you might get away with it here and there, but they want you around them. So what people are going to do? Whole favoritism. Boom, status. And oftentimes we don't think, bro, like, yo, bro, you could keep all that status, bro. That status, holding rank in a gang, is a fed charge, my dude. They coming for you. Whatever they doing while you asleep, taking a shit, whatever. Whatever them little, whatever you want to call them, bro. Your so-called bros, right? You're getting charged for it, bro. Because you're the head. You're holding rank. They feel like you knew about it. And you could play all you want that I can't babysit a bunch of dudes. Well, you shouldn't be taking positions. And even if you're the most positive gang leader that's ever been in the United States of America, they're going to find a way to knock you and lock you up, bro. You know why? This is not a world that wants leaders of other gangs building a nation. If it's not the United Nations or America, they don't want it, bro. You're doing something wrong. You're trying to start your own tribe, your own community, which could become a problem to the, White House, to presidency, to the way things are ran in the world. They will always do something to nip that in the butt, my guy. And especially when you putting your hands on your own people and you creating violence. Once you start hurting dudes and dudes start going to the hospital, it's a wrap. It's the same thing when you selling drugs. The feds usually let a dude rock. They might feel bad for you. Let them get a few dollars. When they really come in is once you start hurting people. Like physical violence. Now we got to stop this quick. They might let you body one or two, and I think that that's wrong of them. They actually set it up to where people kill each other, and then they come in like a homicide needs to happen. Why? You could have stopped that. You was listening this whole time. I think that's wrong. Leave in the comments if you ain't see that go on, bro. Or I'm bugging out. Maybe I'm talking too much. Let me stop before they come for me now. Listen, I ain't doing nothing wrong. But again, when you're doing something right like this, to them, you're doing something wrong. This golden culture, man. I'm talking not only because I got a set of lips, because I care. And I want to let you know, man, that you ain't got to keep using your phone for your dumb stupidity. It's going to get you locked up. And the gangs are very childish. And that although you may be one that's living the grown life and trying to live the way those lessons taught you, because a lot of lessons of gangs, to be real, that are not really were meant to be gang, they were made for an uplift